This video is sponsored by Polaroid.
If you've been in the photography world for a while, you've probably noticed something lately. All of a sudden, point and shoot cameras, yes, the same ones we begged our parents for back in 2006, are back again. And not just a TikTok trend or like a quirky accessory for Gen Z, they're like a whole movement. And honestly, I kind of love it. Today, we're diving into why so many photographers and even regular people are ditching their DSLRs and mirrorless setups occasionally, let's not get crazy, for something simpler. And I'm gonna show you one of my favorite point and shoots that actually lives up to the hype, the Polaroid Flip. Okay, so first things first, what's going on with this shift back to compact cameras? We're now living in a world with over-editing, over-scheduling, and let's be honest, sometimes photography starts to feel more like work than art. And with a point and shoot like the Flip, you literally just press one button. There's no worrying about settings, no swapping lenses, and somehow that lack of control kind of brings the joy back. So when I was between like 18 and 21 years old, I would buy disposable cameras and keep one in my purse at all times. I loved that I could take random photos throughout the month of like my favorite moments and my favorite things that were happening. So what is the Polaroid Flip and why am I, kind of low-key obsessed with it? Well, this little guy is Polaroid's ultimate take on the modern point and shoot. It's for any level of photographer really, and it's designed to help you capture beautifully lit, sharp photos with a single click. Like that. Ah! You know how they say shake it like a Polaroid picture? You're not supposed to do that. Exactly. Do not shake it. Please stay tuned to see what this looks like. So everything about the Flip has been reimagined using modern tech, but it still gives you that analog, hands-on experience. So first of all, it's got a 4-lens hyperfocal system. Depending on how close your subject is, it automatically switches lenses to get a sharper focus. So for portraits, landscapes, street photography, it can handle all of it. So from 0.65 meters to 2.5 meters, there's basically a sweet spot for everything. Next, we have the sonar autofocus. Now this is a throwback to Polaroid tech, say like 1978 SX70 era, but Polaroid re-engineered it. So now your subject is always in focus, even in low light. And speaking of low light, this thing has Polaroid's most powerful flash ever, and it adapts based on your distance from the subject. Now I've shot indoors, I've shot at parties, I've shot at golden hour, and honestly, the Flip just gets it right because there are no do-overs with film after all. The thing is, there's also this little LED inside the viewfinder, and it's part of the scene analysis system. It'll warn you if your subject's too close or if your exposure is off. This kind of reminds me of the 1965 Polaroid Swinger, where it literally flashed yes if your settings were correct. And that's kind of the analog charm this camera is channeling, but now with 2025 level tech. Now here's the big thing. Why does this matter? We used to shoot with Polaroids because they were fast, but now we shoot with them because they're meaningful and a vibe, as they say. Now when you take a portrait of someone with the Flip, you're not just snapping a file, you're preserving that exact light, that exact moment on real film in a way that feels so much more human than digital. Everyone's trying to replicate this effect digitally, but honestly, in my opinion, why bother? Just take it the way it was intended. See, I got really heated about that. I shook the table. I recently posted some photos of my family on Instagram holding a picture of my ultrasound. So we took them on a point and shoot because I wanted the feeling of those photos to feel classic and effortless, and I wanted to draw focus to the message and less on how perfect and beautiful the photo was. But notice how this photo was still a style. The medium you take the art with has an impact. Now, I can't totally take credit for this idea because I have seen many other people online post Polaroids or film photos of their engagement or pregnancy announcement. And actually, for the record, my original idea was to go to a photo booth in a mall or something, and I couldn't find one, and I'm having trouble finding them in general these days, which kind of makes me sad. Oh. Halfway there. How long is the video? Enough to develop a picture.
On the camera itself, you've got quick access to shooting modes like flash on and off, a self-timer for group shots or solo moments, and even double exposure, which is a fun way to get creative. And when you connect Flip to the Polaroid app, you unlock even more tools. You've got manual mode, program mode, and long exposure for dreamy, light trail kind of shots. When I walked into this neon-lit arcade, I knew it would be the perfect setting to push the Polaroid Flip's low-light capabilities. I wanted to see if it could capture both the vibrant glow of the signs and the darker tones of my sweater sweater without losing detail in either. I positioned myself so the colors would wrap around me, curious to see how well the camera balanced contrast and kept skin tones natural under that heavy colored lighting, and honestly, it nailed it. Now, this menu shot was another fun test. I loved how the dark background made the bright colors pop, so I framed it to see how the flip would handle saturated tones in low light without everything getting muddy. It was less about perfect composition here and more about testing the sensor's ability to hold detail in the shadows while still letting the colors shine through. I took these two landscape shots intentionally just a few steps apart. I wanted to see how the camera would react to shifting light and detail, from the water's texture and the movement of ducks to the way the sun reflects off the surface. I was impressed with how much nuance it captured, from the delicate ripples to the mirrored trees, and it was a great way to see how the flip renders natural elements without over-processing them. Now, this shot of Luna sitting in the sun has to be one of my favorites. It feels almost cinematic, and I loved how the camera captured the soft transition from light to shadow on the carpet and the details in her fur, from the darkest patches to the sun-kissed highlights, if you will. It really shows off the camera's dynamic range and its ability to preserve subtle textures without losing that dreamy analog feel.
So is this just a wave of nostalgia that will pass? Maybe. I actually think it's more than that. I think we're witnessing a shift in the way people want to experience photography again, away from perfection towards presence, and the Polaroid Flip makes that easier than ever. And when it comes to the different types of Polaroid models, this is less expensive than the Polaroid i2, but still delivers photos with incredible sharpness, depth of field, and that signature Polaroid magic. So whether you're a total beginner or a professional looking to fall back in love with the feeling of photography, this is the kind of tool that helps you do it. So yeah, the return of point and shoots isn't just about style. It's about stripping things back and reconnecting with why we picked up a camera in the first place. So if you're curious to try something new, or old, but new again, I highly recommend checking out the Polaroid Flip. It's nostalgic, it's easy, and it might just change the way you think about photography. See, when would I have been able to do that in real time? So if you guys like this video, please give it a like down below, subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell to get notified for all future videos. And whether you are team DSLR mirrorless or want to jump on the point and shoot wave, let me know in the comments below. Bye!